Hello everyone, today is the 30th of September. It's now about 2 weeks since I recorded my last video, and on that day we had the release of FOMC, but over the last 2 weeks nothing much has happened. I think that the large players who actually moved the markets had already made their moves, and so the news release was already priced in the data. It's just the classic buy the rumor, sell the news. But anyways, I'd say I really didn't care about what the Fed was going to do in terms of my day-to-day trading. But as I said, I was interested in seeing how the other asset classes would react to the FOMC lowering the interest rates because of an injection of liquidity into the financial markets. And so I'm going to go over price action on Bitcoin because it's going to be interesting to see how Bitcoin is going to perform this last quarter of the year. Because for the last 2 years, Bitcoin has been on a bullish trend, and you could see that there are certain fundamental factors that have really driven the price of Bitcoin up this last cycle. And in some ways, like, this cycle is different from all the other Bitcoin cycles, and I'm going to go over that, and I'm going to go over this cycle and those fundamental factors that I'm talking about once I settle down in my co-working spot for the day. But in other news, I took a New Zealand JPY trade today in the morning at 7, which has ended up being a loss, and it's okay. And I'm just also going to break down that trade once I settle down. So right now, let me just head in, and then we'll talk when I'm a little bit settled. Okay, so now let me just talk you through my New Zealand JPY trade quickly. So this is a market that had been pushing lower for quite a while, but we really did not have a lot of conviction among the sellers. So we had this sort of a descending channel with buyers coming into the market every time sellers tried to push prices lower. And so in case you can't see the pattern clearly, you can use the line chart. Now, once we broke out of the descending channel, price continued to push lower, and then we got this squeeze at the bottom with a very tight descending channel, and this is usually a sign that price might reverse. So I was now waiting to see if we could get reversal entries to the upside, and the trigger for me was this initial impulsive push to the upside, and I had a buy limit entry at 5.958, but unfortunately, price did come, tag me in the trade, and then tagged me out within the same candle, and this ended up being a negative 1% loss. And this is just part and parcel of trading. There was no issue with the trade. This was a high probability trade, and it's a trade that will take time and time again. Anyways, my main focus for the day was price action on Bitcoin. So as you can see, we had the start of the Bitcoin bullish cycle in November 2023. We had the first push, the consolidation, then continued with momentum. Then we got this small consolidation, and during this period is when we got the Bitcoin ETFs, which now supercharged the cycle. And this is because of the inflow of institutional capital. You can see price pushed higher aggressively. Then we got another large consolidation, and this is the weekly chart. So these consolidations takes months, and during this consolidation is when we got the Bitcoin halving, which was another factor that led to the bullish cycle to continue. And this was coupled with the election of Trump in November, and as you know, Trump was pro-crypto, and so this added more confidence to the buyers, and you could see that price continued pushing higher. Then we got this consolidation again, and as you can see, this consolidation is very similar to the other previous two consolidations, and this is just how trends move, with prices pushing higher, consolidations, continuation of momentum, consolidation. And during this consolidation is where we had the new SEC approved, and the SEC is very, very important because they are the ones who are responsible for regulating crypto. And since we had a new SEC that was pro crypto, price continued pushing higher, and now we are in this situation where we are already in another consolidation like the previous other consolidation. So we'll wait and see if price is going to continue pushing higher, or if price might push her, then we get the start of the crypto bear cycle. So right now I'm going to head over home, but as you have seen, like I've taken one trade today and it was a loss, a New Zealand JPY trade, but that's not an issue for me. Although this quarter Q2 has been really slow, and I'm finishing September down -1%. I took two trades. One was a break even, the Audi USD trade that I had featured in the other video, and then this New Zealand JPY trade, which has been a negative -1% loss, and that's just part and parcel of trading. It's not an issue for me, as I think if you've seen my videos, then there's the video that I did on trading psychology, and in that video I showed you that I usually have a very low strike rate. My trading strategy has a strike rate of about 30%, so losses are more common than the wins, and it's something that I've gotten used to, so there's no need to be emotional or anything like that. On the other hand, as I've shown you Bitcoin, I'm really looking forward to see what Bitcoin is going to do in this quarter. I'm not going to make any buy, hold, or sell recommendations for you. I think that is something you need to do your own research on. But for me personally, Bitcoin is it's the thing that got me started in the financial markets. I did not start as a forex trader or day trader, like taking trades in the market. I got into the financial markets through Bitcoin. I remember it was in 2018 when I first bought my first Bitcoin. At the time, we used to buy Bitcoin on local Bitcoins, which does not even exist at this point, and that just goes to show you, like, in the world of crypto, anything can happen. So in as much as you might be hyped up about Bitcoin in this last quarter of the year, it's important to note that Bitcoin goes through different phases. Although for this time, I think that this cycle is different from any other cycle because of institutional inflows coming into the market through the ETFs. And this is definitely going to affect the Bitcoin market cycles going forward, because when you combine the fact that the supply of Bitcoin is going to reduce as the years go by, and we are going to get more institutional investor inflows into the market, then you are going to create this situation where you have very high demand but very low supply, and that is what will drive up the price of Bitcoin. But for me personally, and if you're looking into getting into Bitcoin, it's important that you have a very long-term approach, because Bitcoin is something you need to hold in the long term, and you need to approach it in the same way you approach buying land, because you never buy land and then you are looking to see if the price has gone up every month to see if you can sell. You buy and you hold for years and years. So we're going to wait and see what Bitcoin is going to do in this last cycle of the year. And the good thing is that I'll be here documenting it, and you'll be able to follow along on my journey. And even this last quarter in the day-to-day trading, I'm really hoping that we can get a turn in things, because Q3 has been really slow, but I've been able to manage my risk efficiently, because as you can see in September, I've only finished down -1%, and that is mainly due to proper risk management, and that is not an issue for me finishing the month in minus, as long as it's not a deep drawdown. And this is just part and parcel of trading. When you talk about being consistently profitable in trading, it does not mean that every month you're going to make a profit. Trading profits are very inconsistent. You can go for 3 months, 2 months without making any returns in the market, and then you can get 1 month that boosts your performance for the year. And so right now I want to head over home, and then I'll have a lot of editing to do. And I think that will be it for this vlog. And as always, remember to like the video and to subscribe if you haven't. See you in the next one.